Yeah, so I'm very pleased to catch up today with Saoirse Tennyson from Antrim, and we were just chatting before we started recording here. Saoirse, it's just over a year since you were getting your hair blown around the place out in Poolbeg. We were doing a photo shoot ahead of the National League finals. It's been a fast year for you, Saoirse, and so much has happened in that time. Can I ask you first and foremost, how are you doing? Because you picked up a rather nasty injury in the All Ireland semi final last year, cruciate ligament, unfortunately. How are you, and how's the recovery going since then?
Yeah, it's going really well. At the start of the injury, the rehab and stuff, I struggled a lot. I know I couldn't really come to terms with the injury and kept asking myself, like, why and how doing something I love could be taken away from me, like, in a couple of seconds. I kept asking myself, like, will I ever play a game? Will I ever be as good? Could I have done something differently, to prevent the injury? And then there was just like one night I sat down, like looking past the achievements, and I noticed how happy I was playing. And I want to be back to that happy old self when we back playing. So I needed to accept the injury basically. So I got in contact with my personal trainer, Aaron, and we sat down, we had a chat, and basically put down 3 goals. And then since then we haven't looked back. But the rehab has been going really, really well. 6.5 months at the minute. So I'm hoping I don't have much longer to go now, but everything's going really well.
Excellent, Saoirse. No, it's good to hear that because we had Tony O'Gregan earlier on, and he's a sports psychologist, and he was talking about the difficulties for many people
Yeah.
In this time, particularly when there's so much uncertainty about when we might get back on the field of play. But you had your own difficulties to deal with in terms of the injury, and
Yeah.
he talked about the feelings of grief that can accompany not just when we lose people in our lives, but when something is taken from us. And at that time, you've alluded to, you had a fear that your career might have been taken
Yeah.
from you. So it was good to hear that you spoke to someone about it. How therapeutic was that you had somebody to bounce all of that stuff off?
No, I really, really rely on Aaron. I tend to like kick myself about things. I stress myself out, and he's kind of there to tell me, I'm doing really well and I'll be back playing soon enough, and don't worry, I'll be back better, fitter, stronger. So he's been a really great help pushing me on.
Because you were having a terrific season last year as well. Seriously, things
Yeah,
were going really,
yeah, I
really
had
well.
everything last season. Obviously, I was the named captain, which was a big deal. I'm only 22 years of age, and then I was named in the team of the league, and then I had the honour of walking the steps of Clonus and lifting the junior Ulster title. So everything was going really well, and then all of a sudden, it was just taken away from me.
To
So
be
yeah, it was
named,
very frustrating. Sorry.
to be named captain at that young age, Saoirse,
Yeah.
how did you manage, or how was that relayed to you that they wanted you to be the captain, and what kind of responsibility did you feel that brought along with it?
I was very surprised. I'm a very quiet person. I'm just there to kind of play Gaelic. So for them to kind of rely on me to lead a team, it was an incredible opportunity. So unreal experience.
Would you be vocal on the pitch? I think you mentioned in a previous interview you'd probably leave your talking on the pitch,
Yeah,
Saoirse. You'd be quite vocal
yeah.
on
I'm
the
not
pitch.
so good so much, and I'm not so good much. I'm not sorry. I'm not very good at team talks. Like that way. But I know on the pitch, I will encourage you to keep going.
And they do say that the real leaders lead by example. You were certainly doing that last year, Saoirse.
Yeah.
Um, it was early in the second half against Louth in the All Ireland semi final when this happened.
Yeah.
Can you recall it? And did you know at that time that you'd done some serious damage?
Oh yeah, instantly I knew straight away. Like I you feel the instant pop. As I was running, I tried to turn. Like it was an instant, and I just instantly fell to the ground. I just knew straight away.
Okay. Um, so what happened next? Can you recall it? What was or is everything a blur at this stage when you look back on it?
No, I remember fully. I genuinely felt like I couldn't move. It was the worst thing I've ever had to experience, and I was then stretched off and in the room. Iced my day, gave a few painkillers, and then I got in contact with my physio. I think it was a couple of days later, and I seen her, and then we booked the MRI, and then we got the results back straight away, basically.
Okay, so you had a feeling though that you were probably going to get the results that you didn't want to hear, but you had a fairly good
Yeah,
idea
yeah,
that there was damage done, yeah.
yeah, yeah.
And so, what were the steps after that, Saoirse? I mean, you talk about maybe coming to terms with it, and When did it reach the stage where you finally accepted that this is what's wrong, and now I've got to get on the road to recovery?
It was actually a couple of weeks after the surgery. I didn't get in contact with my personal trainer till I think it might have been around 2 months after my surgery. You know, I was just cooped up in bed all day, and it was just like no feeling sorry for myself. And then I was like, I need to get up and do something about it. So it was around 2 months afterwards I contacted him, and then we got the rehab going like soon after that.
Very good. And that gave you that focus and that routine
Yeah.
back in your life that you needed, Saoirse, rather than, as you say,
Yeah.
moping about. Yeah. So what was there must have been a turning point there where you say you were moping around and lying in bed, and did you just feel, I just need to get out of this state that I'm in and to just get on a positive road again?
Yeah, well, obviously, like, being alongside the St. Paul's girls when they won their, I think it was their 9th county championship, and then Ulster, and then, you know, they got to our final. So I think I was sitting down close 2 days post-op. And, you know, it was a very frustrating feeling because it's every player's dream. That's where you want to be, you know, playing in those bigger games. So I moped around for a couple of days, and then I was just says like, no, I need to get up and do something. Like, I want to be back there. I want to be playing there.
Yeah, because we missed you on the road to the All-Ireland final, and it was a terrific run and a terrific final as well. Saoirse, were you kind of sitting there thinking, you know, because it was so close, if I could have been out there, you know, be the caliber player that you are, that you could have made that difference on the day?
Yeah. I always wondered that, and I kind of kicked myself because I thought maybe if I was playing the day, I could have made a difference. But, you know, it happened, and, you know, there's nothing you can do about that, really.
Saoirse, we saw all the social media and the activity and the coverage that you guys got on the way to an All-Ireland final. How good was that in the local area?
Oh my God, it's incredible. Like, where our club is, like, based on the Shaw's Road, like, we had all the posts, like, filled with red and white. And even when we come home from the All-Ireland final, like, they all done a guard of honour, the whole of Shaw's Road, and it was an unbelievable thing. You know, that we had our county behind us.
That's terrific stuff. It was as if an entire community just got behind you as well, not just the club, Saoirse.
Yeah, no, it was incredible. We had you know, girls from other clubs in the county, you know, watching us and putting posts up, supporting us. So it was great to see that we had the support of, you know, girls we play against, and obviously the county itself.
What has life been like with the club since then, in terms of bouncing back from that disappointment and setting new goals and going again after Christmas?
Well, to be honest, I haven't really been involved in the club and county set up at the minute. You know, I'm just trying to focus on myself. But I know the girls are doing weekly swim sessions. You know, I think they're going for, I think it's 9 or 10 in a row. So they're you know, they're keeping busy. They're doing 5Ks, and they're out walking and hiking and just anything to kind of keep themselves active at the minute.
And where are you now in terms of your recovery, Saoirse, relative to where you want to get to and where the ultimate end goal is?
Well, I've been running the past few weeks, and we can now see other people outside our household. So I'm going to start meeting up with my personal trainer and hopefully start doing no cutting and stuff. So I think that's coming to like the end stage, but I'm hoping to be back. Well, if I don't see the end of the season, then, you know, I'm not really rushing myself.
Okay, you've plenty of time. Saoirse, in terms of, have you been talking to your teammates, you know, club and county, about how they're dealing with life at the moment in terms of the COVID-19 pandemic, and when we don't know when we're going to get back on the field of play?
Yeah.
How are people dealing with that?
Well, judging, I've spoke to a few guys over social media, and they seem to be coping fine. You know, like I said, they're keeping themselves active by doing swim sessions and 5Ks and, you know, hiking. They want to keep themselves busy, yeah,
it's tricky enough, isn't it, to deal with this as well. You're working.
They don't really have much to kind of, you know, play to have that to train for at the minute. I think if they have a date, they'll be fighting more for it.
Yeah, there's a bit of uncertainty about all of that, isn't there?
Yeah.
You can't plot for a particular date when we're going to be back, which is tricky. Saoirse, can you tell me a little bit about where you grew up and where you're from and the history around the area as well?
Well, I grew up in a place called Poglass, up in the west of Belfast, and that's how I started playing. I went to my local primary school, and then Brian Coyle, he took our local Gaelic team, and he got me into St. Paul's, and I've been there since.
And it's an area steeped in Gaelic games tradition as well, I'm sure, Saoirse.
Yeah, there's a lot of Gaelic up our way, and a lot of recently open clubs. We have what do you call them? Oh god, the name's been out in my head, but yeah, it's brilliant.
And your love of football, was it something was it a sport you took to right from the start, or did you play other sports along the way before you settled on ladies
Oh
football?
god, I've tried everything. I've tried ash dancing, hip hop, even tried boxing. Tried to follow my brother's footsteps, but tried camogie, but I never ever stuck to anything apart from Gaelic. It was always something I was really good at.
Okay. When did you first pull on the Antrim shirt, Saoirse? What level was that at?
I think it might have been under 16, under 14 maybe. I think I've been playing county for around 7 years, maybe on and off. I got a picture sent to me the other week, and I was keeper. I
No
was a
way.
keeper. I swear, yeah, I used to be a keeper for Antrim. I think it might have been under 14 or 16, and then since then I've kind of been just playing on and off.
Okay, so how did you graduate out the pitch then? Or did you enjoy being in goals at all, or what was that
No,
like?
I think they asked someone to volunteer to jump in the goals for like a training session.
Hmm.
I think I was just like not really good at it, but I think it was kind of club level. We were playing, say, I would have played senior goalkeeper in midfield for senior reserve, and then I always pushed myself in training. And then Brian Cohen must have seen that, and then he brought me out to midfield, and then I've kind of been passed around position since then.
And recognition then when you moved up the ranks, Sergio obviously stayed a mainstay, 14, 16, minor and onto the senior team as well. Um, that sense of pride that you feel when you put, I see you've got some gear on as well.
Yeah, yeah.
When you pull on that county shirt, what's that feeling like when you go out and
Oh,
represent?
it's the greatest feeling. You rep not only you're representing your club, but you're representing your county. It's the highest level you can play at. So do you play at that level? Like it is, it's incredible.
You mentioned your brother is a boxer there, yeah?
Yeah, professional boxer. Yeah,
Is he?
yeah.
I never knew that. What's his name? And excuse
Um,
my ignorance now, but he's a
no, it's okay.
professional.
James. Yeah, James Tennyson.
Okay, you learn something
Mhm.
new every day. And
Yeah.
how is he finding things here? Are you in touch with him as well throughout all of this?
Yes, he actually lives with us. Yeah, he's struggling as well. He actually had a fight due the 9th of May over Wales, and he had to be cancelled. So they've kind of rescheduled a new date. So he's still training away as much as he can.
Wow, that's very interesting. And what was there sport in your parents' backgrounds?
No,
Sergio?
not at all.
Okay, I was going to
Not at
ask
all. No.
where did the love of sport come from that you guys have?
It's actually a funny story. My brother, he used to have a really bad temper. He probably killed me for saying this, but he had a really bad temper when he was younger. So when we wanted to get him into something, like to release some temper, so she put him into boxing.
No way, brilliant.
Yeah.
And so you went playing football instead.
And then I somehow playing Gaelic.
Um,
Mm.
it's it's remarkable. It's a remarkable story that you guys have that shared love of sport, and I guess something that has both been taken from you at this point in time as well, and trying to deal with that as
Yeah.
well. But through everything that you've been through over the last few months, Sergio, what have you found out about yourself? Have you found this new resilience? Because right at the start, you said I was really struggling with this, and you needed to pick yourself up rather than someone coming to pick you up. So have you
Yeah.
found what have you learned about yourself throughout the experience of suffering
No,
with this?
obviously throughout rehab, I've found that I've had a lot of patience. Some days are harder than others. Some weeks I'll not see no improvements, no in strength and stuff that way, and then the next week it'll be completely different. So one thing I found with rehab is to be very patient.
Hmm. And there seems to be a very positive future ahead for Antrim as well, judging by what we see at underage level and right up through the ranks in recent years, Saoirse. So how much looking forward to are you to being part of all that over the next few years?
But yeah, the underage setup is absolutely incredible at the minute. They're achieving more than what our seniors have at the minute. So it is amazing to see that, and I look forward to seeing those teams move up.
Yeah, we look forward to seeing you back as well, Saoirse. We wish you well. Just in terms of work, you work in a local spar shop as well, and
Yeah.
what's that like at the moment with hand sanitizers and
Oh,
social distancing and all of that?
it is very stressful. I think the first couple of weeks were probably the hardest. People were panicking you know, they're stressed, they don't know what's going on at the minute. And us as staff, we received a lot of verbal abuse. We kind of, you know, you kind of understand, you know, they're panicking, they don't know what's going on, but at the same time, it's not fair on us because we're just doing our jobs. You know, we're risking our health to, you know, assist them. So it is very stressful, but hopefully over the next couple of weeks with the lockdown easing, that, you know, the shop will settle a bit.
Yeah, and hopefully life will return to some bit of normality as well.
Yeah.
And Saoirse, we wish you well. It's been great catching up with you.
Great, thank
And
you.
apologies, there was a couple of times I had to point like that because there was a little intruder trying to get in the door here as well. So my little boy Jack. No, this was
Oh, right.
this is at
Oh,
my
I thought you meant me. I was going,
no,
who's
no, no.
nice?
There's nobody in the background. It wasn't like that BBC the show where the little fella comes in.
Mhm.
Well, Saoirse, we wish you so well. We're really looking forward to seeing you back playing because I recall seeing you a few times last year. And you were absolutely flying up until that injury. So we
Yeah.
wish you really, really well. How much are you looking forward to the day when you can just get back out there and doing what you do best?
Oh, I can't wait. Like, my full focus just to get back playing. Like, even if I get 10 minutes in this season, like, it would really make the world. You know, it is a hard injury to come back from. It's a long rehab, but I do believe I have it in me to get back playing. So I've kind of got myself focused, and hopefully I'll be back playing soon enough.
Yeah, we wish you well, and we wish all the family well, and everybody in St. Paul's as well. Tell them, or Naomh Pól as they like to be referred to, I think, Saoirse, as
Yeah,
well, rather than St. Paul's. We learned that last year as well. That there's obviously the rich Irish tradition there is very, very strong, Saoirse. Yeah,
yeah, yeah.
absolutely, good stuff. Saoirse, good talking to you, and stay well and stay safe.
Yes, you too. Thank you.
Good talking to you, Saoirse. Take care.
Bye.
Bye bye.
Bye.